What is good? You too. It's AJ Boogie back at it again, and I'm bringing that NBA. So, as we know by now, Carmelo Anthony was traded to the Atlanta Hawks. Then the Atlanta Hawks bought out his contract. Wouldn't it be awesome to be Carmelo Anthony? To be expected to average 12-13 points a game. He shoots 40% from the field, 35% from the three-point line, and is an absolute glass cleaner, averaging 5 boards a game and a playmaker with 1.3 assists, and get paid, $28 million a year. Wouldn't that be awesome? Wouldn't that be every NBA player's dream job? You have such low expectations, but we're going to give you top-notch player money. Who's got a better life than Carmelo Anthony right now? Averaging 12 a game and getting almost $30 million a year? It's funny because the Oklahoma City organization thought Carmelo would opt out of this deal. He's a third option. Carmelo's never been a third option before. He doesn't really fit well with Russell Westbrook. He's obviously going to test free agency. But guess what? Surprise. You thought it would be different. When has Carmelo not followed the money? He didn't give a rip about the Oklahoma City organization / holding down the Thunder. He said, you're going to give me $28 million? Where do I sign? I can tell you right now, Carmelo's aspirations is not to win an NBA championship. It's to fill up his pockets. Let me read you these stats again. He averages about 12-13 a game, shoots 40% from the field, 35% from 3. He's useless. He doesn't even play defense. He's old. And as we're finding out now, he's kind of a cancer. Whichever team he goes to, they end up having to rebuild. Look at New York right now. They kind of got a little momentum going, but they haven't been anything before or since Carmelo arrived. They've still been rebuilding. And he comes to the Oklahoma City Thunder, and it's going to be a third option. Carmelo's never been a third option in his life. He's never been a second option. He will not accept that role. It's obvious. I can tell you right now, when Kristaps Porzingis said he didn't like where the organization was going, it was because of Carmelo Anthony. He was hindering his growth. I'm sure Kristaps Porzingis got tired of just standing there on the court watching Melo jab step about 4 or 5 times and then shooting contested mid-range jumper. And quite honestly, it gets old. He can't get around anyone. He can barely shoot anymore. He's barely got any lift. And I feel like Carmelo has not improved his game any since New York. I think the money got a hold of him. He was thinking more about my pockets instead of becoming a better basketball player. Because if you remember with the Nuggets, they made it to the Western Conference Finals a long time ago. Let me give you a little secret of how Carmelo and that Nuggets team made it to the Western Conference Finals. They had Chauncey Billups. They had a leader. Carmelo was the #1 option, but no team wants him anymore. The secret's out and everybody knows it. Carmelo will come and kill your franchise, and he wants a lot of money while he's doing it. Do you remember an Oklahoma City press conference? Whenever he arrived, a reporter asked him, do you see yourself coming off the bench? And Carmelo laughed at him. He hinted over to some guy on the side, and he's like, do you hear him? He said, me come off the bench. And I remember thinking in my head, I'm sure that's what the Oklahoma City Thunder were thinking too, you coming off the bench. But they didn't want to upset Carmelo Anthony. You know that one guy that you never ever see, but that one event that you go to and he's there and you're just like, hey dude, what's going on? We haven't talked in forever. Like, we should hang out sometime. You're reminiscing all the good times that you seldomly had. And he's one of those guys that you're just not going to hit up. You're not going to call him at any time. You're not going to ask him to hang out at any time. The only time you see him is at an event and you're like, hey, we need to hang out more. But you leave the event with having no intention of talking to that guy again. That's Carmelo Anthony. We want to talk about the Banana Boat crew because everyone's saying, oh, Melo's going to LA to go play with Bron. Oh, Melo's going to Houston to go play with Chris Paul. They're the Banana Boat. Look. They might be the 4 amigos, but they are not Banana Boat. Let me remind you, that Banana Boat picture is Dwayne Wade. It is LeBron James. It is Chris Paul, and it is Dwayne Wade's wife, Gabrielle Union. There's no Carmelo in that picture. Now, they did go on vacation with each other, but Carmelo was not in that group. Remember, it's that guy that you see just out of perfect coincidence. He's not the guy that you asked to go have fun with. If Dwayne Wade, Chris Paul, LeBron James wanted to play with Carmelo, they would have at some point. Look at LeBron, look at D Wade. Those two are the best of friends. They played with each other. You think that was because of a reason? I remember reading an article about Carmelo. It said that the Rockets and Chris Paul were determined to get Carmelo Anthony. Now, I don't know who would have released it, but I think that's kind of a smokescreen for LA to go get it because the Rockets don't want it. They're trying to put pressure on other teams to say, hey, we're about to do it. You better do it before we do it, but have no intention. That way Chris Paul can be like, hey, Melo, man, I tried to get everything rolling. We just couldn't do it. I'm sorry. Face it, Carmelo. The Rockets don't want you. The Lakers don't want you. The Atlanta Hawks bought out your contract for you to not play with them. Yes, that is right. I said the Atlanta Hawks. What a fall from grace. That's all the heat I got for today. Like, comment, subscribe to the Boogie Squad. AJ Boogie, and I'm out. Boom!